Okay, let's go ahead back up. Let's go ahead and swap out the map. And has everyone played Monster that wanted to? I know that there was 3 or 4 of you, and I'm not too sure if we went through all of them.
I think the whole lobby has Monster.
Yeah, I've done a round.
Yeah, I'm good then.
Okay, then whoever, then I guess first come, first serve. Oh, excuse me. What time is it? 3. It takes 2.5 hours. What time do you want dinner, sweetheart? 6 sounds perfect. Okay, so after this game, I'm going to take a quick 5-10 minute break so I can go ahead and start marinating my ribs, and then we will resume, and then shortly thereafter, so in about 1 hour, about 58 minutes, we're going to be doing the Season 2 PC raffle. So let me go ahead and announce that on Twitter. I wouldn't mind a support that has a shotgun or whatever to be kind of more of a...
Did the game start or be still configuring?
I clicked the wrong button.
Oh.
Thanks for saying something.
I was just saying, it's just like, have I DC'd?
Ha! I found my envelope.
Where was it?
Under the tablet.
Where's the tablet?
Magic.
Idiot.
What? Ooh, gold kraken.
Huh?
I was talking to the herd. So Dire Space Badger on Kraken with Lennox, Hank, and I'm thinking with Maggie, I'm thinking Val. Val, Maggie, no, could be Kyra, yeah. Excuse me. Oh, I'm so tired. They were lighting fireworks all around my house last night. Plus all the people camping out for the parade. So just waiting on Maggie's perk, it looks like. Probably deciding about... I like jump height. Jump height with most trappers is pretty decent, I think. Sounds like my son is not sleeping or taking a nap. Okay, so here we go on Orbital Drill. Oh, and he's the Wraith, not Kraken. So this is going to be an interesting... There we go. Swimming in circles. Not sure the purpose of that. Okay, so this northeastern, this kind of like cave area back here is really rich in wildlife, especially mammoth birds. There's a lot of mammoth birds you'll find around this kind of like coastal area, and the monster will not be seen. I like how she looks when she falls, because she just kind of literally just falls. Looks like somebody pinged over here. I'm not sure why. But it looks like that they're just going to go in that direction. I'm not sure what the ping was for, if they saw like movement or what it was. But the monster is getting farther away. And there we go, another mammoth bird. And the hunter's relatively on track, so they should have seen the corpse by now. Surprised that they're not pinging. They could just be talking about it, but usually you see pings when somebody has gotten that. So the monster might get spotted here in just a second. Needs to look behind, and it looks like that the hunters, in fact, are going to ping. So the hunters are pinging it right now. And it looks like the monster's going to have to skedaddle out of there. I like leading them over a carnivorous trap. I like that the trapper is staying back, but I'm not seeing any harpoon, or not harpoons, turrets. Sorry, not turrets, tranks. I cannot talk right now.
Clear some wildlife.
And there goes the Mega Mouth. It'll be interesting to see where they go.
Look, got it. Where are your decoys?
Oh, does not get out. Will end up using up all 3 traversals, so it's very vulnerable right now, which means everyone should go ahead and chase it until it starts getting its abilities on, back from cooldown. I see that a lot of people will dome the monster and then kind of wait a little while, and depending on the dome, that's not always necessarily the best course of action. So here we go, monster trying to, it looks like the monster's just working on surviving. Still needs a little bit of food. That is not looking good. So right now there isn't a lot of damage being done one way or the other, so the monster will probably get out of here without taking any permanent health damage. There's a really big rock here. So a lot of times when you have a dome and there's a monster that's not committing to it, it's always important, like exactly what Dead is doing. Pick a high spot that has advantage. Pick somebody up here, put somebody up here, and so that way the monster never has any areas to go, because it's always going to be shot at somebody. So position here, and over there would have been a very good, sufficient deterrent for the monster to just run around in circles. Then you can have the assault trying to go ahead and actually chase the monster, or you can go ahead and try and put them on a position of height as well for the vantage point. Misses the pounce. I do know that I think it's harder to pounce with the Wraith for some reason. It never seems to connect. It always feels like you do this kind of little limp at the end of your sneak pounce. And there we go. Monster going... Excuse me. So monster still needs a couple more bars of meat before evolving. Try not to take too much time. So still stage 1, and it's already 25% through the game. So these should be enough to be able to go ahead and evolve. Now whether you evolve straight away or not, oh, and there's the carrion birds. I do like swimming out here in the deep water. It's hard for them to see a Wraith that's doing that anyway. Not sure where he's going. Back to the scene of the crime. So it looks like that he might... Oh, okay, this might actually work. So they probably think that he might have gone down the beach. It looks like Maggie. Where's Daisy Cam going? Right next to a Mega Mouth. somebody's pinging something. So it does look like that he should be able to get away very easily right now. Hunter's not really sure of where they are. Very solid evolution spot. However, he can be shot from very far away because of line of sight. And I think somebody's pinging him right now, actually. I think should be able to start shooting him. Nope. There's a little bit of damage being done. I think that was from Maggie. Nope, not Maggie. Yeah, very, 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 very tiny sliver of health. This is kind of how that one engagement or that one battle at the barracks also looks. Sorry, armory. And then monsters sneaking through the building. This is one of those things I don't see a lot of teams or hunters really navigate this building well. I've seen lots and lots of monsters sneak through here without ever. So if you're going to split in this place, instead of going right next to each other, have one person take the top floor, one taking the bottom floor. Just make sure that you're always within line of sight so that if you do get pounced, but it's a lot. It's very efficient to go through. And Maggie going to miss. I don't think Maggie realizes that the monster's close by. Monster got pinged. Daisy. And there we go. Sneaking down. Going to be able to smack her into... Oh, wow. That's actually a very strong spot for the Wraith to actually go because the Trapper kind of got stuck there. Fantastic play. Able to capitalize on that. And it looks like he's going to start working and making everyone take a lot of damage. All grouped up here. Need to be very, very careful with that. Now, be very careful about a Kyra Hank recovering a body because it's next to impossible to try and revive or kill somebody by out DPSing both Hank and Kyra. And look at that Warp Blast hitting 3 people with it, only taking damage to 2 because of the personal shield. And here we go, Medic almost down, and there's that combo you gotta watch out for. The Warp Blast, Abduct combo. That's all you need to do is watch out for the Warp Blast more than anything else. Abduct can kind of be shrugged unless it's a 100-meter abduct and you're getting out of position. But for the most part, all you need to do is watch out for the Warp Blast. I still feel a lot of people are not really good at dodging the Warp Blast or knowing when it's going to be up. So if you know that Warp Blast is off cooldown, just be careful with it. Here comes the Abduct. Going to Abduct is support. Interesting. And then follow up with a hit, and then a Warp Blast. Oh, there's the warp. Nice defensive orbital there. And the monster does, in fact, get stuck in here. So this is actually going to be a very scary spot. I don't think he's going to be able to abduct anything. Yeah, it's going to hit the railing. But we'll be able to go ahead and flush that out. It's going to do a lot of damage. So here we go. Once again, monster needs to be have someone on the high ground up here, have someone on the high ground up here, have somebody on the high ground up here, and you should be able to go ahead and go and cover the monster. There's no need to have all this extra movement around when you're just shooting the monster in the face. So like for instance, so the medic has full jetpack right now. The support is running lowish because we had to use it in order to float with the jetpack. But that's exactly what you want to do. You want to make sure you have enough jetpack, and you do that by not using your jetpack and using only minimal moves, if that makes sense. Be careful of this grouping up over here. A little bit too much clustering up on this little pipe, but they're doing good damage now that they're actually a little bit more spread out. And once you put the pressure on the monster, he's going to be on the retreat, which means it's extra free damage for you because you're not being pressured. And there goes the leap smash, and monster will get away. Does look like that it is going to be able to get enough energy probably to go ahead and evolve to stage 3 pretty soon. And need to be very careful here. Monster's going to get caught in just a second. Yep. And there's support, trying to cut it off. I do like the support cutoff. Not everyone has to follow the Zerg. And here we go. Monster should be getting caught by support pretty shortly. And there we go. Monster being chased off. Regenerated a little bit of health or armor, so it should be able to go ahead and shrug off a bullet or two, but is going to be in dire need of getting some meat. So right now we're probably approaching the 15-minute mark, or 10... Wow, that was way off. 10-minute mark, halfway through the game. So should be going ahead and pick up the pace so you have enough time to engage at a stage 3 if need be. Now, Wraith has the hardest, arguably the hardest time at a stage 3. She and Behemoth are not great relay fighters for the most part. Some maps help, some maps don't, but for the most part, they have a hard time for that. They're better at guerrilla tactic fighting. And so Wraith is going to have to probably be forced to go to stage 3 just because of her low health pool. And in order to be able to survive another strong fighting engagement, it's going to have to probably go ahead and evolve. And here we go, monster slinking off. And Hunter's on the trail. I like the Trapper already going to be cutting off. I'd like to see this kind of more of a committed cutoff. I think the Assault's by herself. So just be careful about that if you are by yourself. And Wraith looking to get some food, and misses a sneak pounce again. So here comes the Trapper right behind. And there is the abduct and the hit. And then, nope, not following it up because it sees the rest of the Hunter group. But normally that's how you can watch it. It's going to be abduct, hit, and warp blast. It's very, very easy. It's very predictable. And I feel that a lot of Hunters don't engage or don't dodge it nearly as much. So 2 strikes. So the monster still isn't completely written out of this. I don't want to make it look like the Hunters still have an extremely strong position, but it still could be either person's game, especially if the Wraith gets to a stage 3 and is able to make a great engagement at the relay. Monster getting denied of some food. Still tries to go for the last couple of bites. Running low on getting wildlife food, so it's taking any kind of scraps of meat it can. Probably the reason why I probably went after that. Ooh, nice little Strider here. Could probably have abducted that behind the safety of a wall. And it looks like only 1 or 2 more meat. This should be the Strider. This Strider should be enough to go ahead and set you on the path for your 3rd stage evolution. Now, where does the monster decide to go? There is the support. Looking for it. Assault looking for it. Assault should see it soon. Assault heard it and pinging it right away. So the monster might be able to go ahead and get away. Might be able to evolve here, but the Hunters are really, really, really close now and needs to be very careful about engaging them with this low of health. So if he does get engaged, if it's a good dome, he might be able to go ahead and prevent all damage by just being evasive. But if it's a bad dome, he could easily get killed here.
There! Monster on the radar! Or, you know, eyeballs if you're not in a giant-powered suit.
Monster, almost. I think that he's playing a little too cautiously with his sneaking game. Sometimes you just need to go and bolt in a straight line, go as far as you can, and then go for the evolve. I feel that he's playing it too safe, and so he keeps on getting pegged between these. And Trapper automatically going for the cutoff over here. Nice work. So now he's going to have to go through the assault. Trying to smell and keep his range of the Trapper. The Trapper is the only one. So whenever you're playing as the monster, the biggest person you need to worry about 9 times out of 10 is the Trapper. And as long as you stay equidistance from the Trapper, you should be able to go ahead and get away. They know that you're here. There's no reason for stealthing right now. Absolutely not, especially because you're very quiet when you walk as a Wraith. And I absolutely feel that you could have just walked a lot further. Then yeah, see, there's no reason for crouching. Like, I feel at this point the sneaking is really, really detrimental for this monster's skill. So Trapper might be able to go ahead and boost and get through here. Monster trying to get some distance now. I like to see the monster just go all the way up here, evolve right back here. No more sneaking though. Just walk. Walk and go this way. Walk and go that way. so Trapper might be able to go ahead and see it. Manages to miss it just in time. But look, I mean, like, the distance is just getting really, really, really close.
Kill the beast!
And all it takes is the monster or one of the hunters to look left instead of straight. And here goes the evolution. Going to most likely get domed here.
Tracks, let's go.
And there we go.
God damn it. Okay, it's stage 3.
Let's see what Lennox does. And manages to get out of there just in time. No decoy, supernova. So no stealth shenanigans. A little bit less than half health permanently. And the stage 3 relay fight is on. So the monster has 3.5 minutes, give or take, to start making some progress here. So it needs to do a little bit less sneaking and a little bit more killing and eating to get your armor up. So it looks like that they're talking about where to set up their turret traps up on this back wall. This back wall is a nice little area to fight. The reason why is if they do a supernova, you can like gravity and you just fall off and you get out of the supernova range up there. This used to, I'm glad that they finally changed this area. This used to be a really cheesy fight area too. Now it's not as bad. And for some reason, these little booster pads always remind me of the ships in Matrix, like the little repulsors. So full armor, monster needs to really get in there and start engaging because you're really running out the clock now. So let's go ahead and let's get that engagement going. So it looks like the hunters saw the birds go this way, so they're setting it up on this edge just so they can do some chip damage for when the monster decides to poke its head out. So without decoy, there's no invisibility to assault the power relay to get into a good position. So there we go. It's monster taking the long way around. So I guess it is going to work for the monster's favor. He will actually be able to go ahead and get to the relay, ironically enough. So he is going to force the fight to come to him, which is, you know, it's in all aspects, it's not a bad idea. And here we go, going after the relay.
It's attacking the relay! It'll rip it apart!
There they go. So forcing the hunters to turn around, but they're still positioned out here. So right now they know that they're winning with the clock, so there's no need for them to go and chase the monster at all. So right now it's very, very strongly favored for the hunters because the monster doesn't have to, or the hunters don't have to move or do anything in order to get there. So the monster is looking for a good engagement angle, and he sees the support, looking for the monkey. So Trapper gets shielded. Does look like the abduct damage went through, and Cairo already on top of the shield. So there we go. The assault is support is sent flying, and the assault gets in the way of the abduct. And there goes the medic getting attacked now. So medic goes straight up. I feel like a lot of people don't really do that enough. And there is a little damage, but I think that supernova was too high up. It's very easy to dodge a supernova up on a tall area, because you're not going to be able to go ahead and capitalize on people and knock people out of it, so just be careful with that. We have another warp blast. Pretty good position for the hunters. I like to see another hunter up on this little area over here, preferably like tank, so you can see somebody over here or over here if need be. But right now it's looking really bad for the monster. Hunters are in pretty good position. I feel that orbital was a little early. You weren't being focused hard out yet. And so I feel that we probably could have baited the monster into that. Medic about to go down. The monster might actually be able to get a win out of this. But it looks like Hank does in fact get by just in time to get that damage done. And Medic once again really close to dying. Just one more hit. And it looks like if you attack instead of the supernova, I think that would have actually been a lot of damage going being sent that way. Kyra doing everything she can, and there goes the Warp Blast. Daisy and the medic down. Monster on less than a third. And let's see if they can go ahead and get anything out of it. So right now it's all about Lennox. Lennox can do a lot of damage. So if Lennox is able to keep the damage up, they might be able to pull this off. So really, really close game. Assault actually might go down here, but Monster comes back, prevents the medic from coming back. There's the abduct, and the monster's so close to dying. Just needs a little bit more. Oh, unfortunate Warp Blast miss. So without the medic, there's no reason to stay commit. All three of them very, very low health. They can just get 2 or 3 bars of armor, just kill the Strider outside of line of sight, obviously. Abduct that line of Strider, only get like a couple bars of armor. Abduct. No, I think this is going to be too far. Now go back. So this is actually really, really, really close. That engagement was really strong for the monster. Was able to finally focus down a key component, and I wouldn't even bother with that much armor, to be honest. Now, the big thing is the personal shield. So the personal shield is going to make or break this next fight. If he pops it too late, he's going to be downed, and that will be the end of the game. I don't think there's a support and the Trapper, barring a amazingly spectacular orbital that the monster sits in, is going to make it. However, if the assault pops it too early, then the monster just waits for it and has to just one Warp Blast afterwards, and we'll seal the deal. Neither one of these guys has an energy regen. I like this play. I like this play forcing the hunters to come to him, and if not, the relay's getting less and less health, which makes their options outside very, very, very limited. Ooh, and here comes the damage from Hank. Hank being spotted, but going after the assault. Assault's barely missing the abduct, and the monster is going to go back on the relay. And there we go, monster on the relay. Monster goes after the support this time. Support's going to cloak and get out of there. So the full team will be back in 20 seconds, and this is exactly what the Wraith is trying to avoid. Right now, he really needs to commit and go after at least one of these hunters. Now, the nice thing is that even though the dropship drops in 10 seconds, thank you, Rev. Even though the dropship stops in 10 seconds, Kyra still takes about 10 minutes to get down to the ground. So the Wraith still has an opportune moment here to go ahead and take somebody else out of the fight. And if he can go after the assault's the biggest threat. If he can go and down the assault, he could probably get this game single-handedly. But unfortunately, another miss by abduct. The support running away. The cloak is on cooldown. Don't forget, you can melee through those pipes. You have a wide enough berth of that. And there goes the support. So the support is not going to be in this next fight. If he can go ahead and permanently down him right now, that's exactly what he'll need. So this next fight, Kyra's going to be all defensive by herself. Now, the monster does only have 27 seconds, so the hunters can, in theory, try and wait out the clock, but they have to be very, very, very careful to keep the monster off the power relay. There we go. Monster. Assault at full health, and that's exactly where you didn't want to be. Going to go straight out after the medic, which means all damage done is going to be somewhat permanent for the hunters. And the medic going down, and just one more hit. There we go. Unfortunately, that's going to be the armor for the monster, and it looks like that there's going to be just a little too much damage. The hunter's able to turn this around and are able to go ahead and do a little bit more damage, and the monster not able to fully commit, otherwise he will die. So if there's any armor in here, I think that would have changed. But right now, there's just too little health that he can't put the pressure on the hunters. So right now, the hunters kind of need to split up, and so prevent the monster from doing any kind of regeneration ability and staying away from damage. Ooh, a little bit of armor is exactly what she needs. Now, if she can go ahead and keep the pressure on the assault. Now, the assault does not have a medic, so he needs to be very, very careful. The personal shield does go up, but very, very good move. Once that personal shield comes down, one Warp Blast is all it's going to take to go ahead and down that assault. A missed abduct, and there goes the Warp Blast, and there goes the assault. Now, Trapper just needs to do a tiny bit of damage, and it's actually really, really close. So right now, if the another miss abduct. Oh, Daisy not getting the res. I'm not sure what the monster's doing. Commit! Oh, so close! Don't go after Daisy. Go eat a body. So the full team is going to be back up to full strength in a few seconds. So right now, it's still looking like a very solid... Oh, and the hunters managed to do a tiny bit of damage. Well played, well played. That went back and forth. Very, very, very close. GG, that was really close.
That was a brilliant game. Love that.
Give me 1 second. Hold on.
Right, I'm gonna have to go get a drink. I'll be back in a bit.
Okay, sounds good. I'll probably take a... how long are you going to be?
Rip.
I think he already left.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be like 30 seconds. I'll wait actually. Do the feedback and then I'll get the drink when you set
Okay.
up the next game.
No worries. Yeah, so really, really good job. The hunters were doing really, really good for a while, but that one engagement turned it all around. I feel that the monster was taking... You don't need to sneak anywhere near as much as I think you need to. I noticed that you could have gone a lot further with distances, and the nice benefit of Wraith is that if you're walking, you're still quiet as a mouse. No one's going to hear you, but you can put a lot more distance than if you're just sneaking, and if they do find your footprints, it doesn't matter because you're still getting distance out of it at least. So I feel like that you probably could have been a bit more efficient with your sneaking, and I'm not sure if that was just because you were being overly cautious or what, because at one point you had a relatively low health, and so maybe it might have just been that you didn't want, you were just being really, really cautious and you're off tilt. But that means but when you got that stage 3 engagement and you finally got the medic down and you were able to get everyone down, I feel that everyone was at like 10% health, like all 3 of them, and I felt like it should have been your game. If you just unfortunate a couple of missed abducts, but if you got the assault first, then you could have easily camped the others. It was really, really, really close at the end. So just be careful about the long range abducts. For some reason, my long range abducts don't work 99% of the time either, and I'm not too sure why. It's just one of those mechanics that just kind of frustrates you. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I'm not too sure why the rhyme or reason. Sometimes the map makes a difference. But really, really well played. I feel at the very end that all of you were kind of chasing the Wraith around a little too much. I would have liked to see 1 or 2 of you just kind of sit stationary on the high ground, so that way if the monster does go out, it's still getting shot, which puts the pressure on the monster to keep on scurrying, which means it's not going to find a hidey spot anytime soon. So just be careful about vantage points in line of sight. But really good job. Go ahead and get your beverage of choice, and we'll go with the next game after this.